Hello there, grumpy old fart here. I'm doing an AD&D video on, and this is not actually a story. This is kind of advice for the dungeon masters who are less experienced. I started playing Dungeons and Dragons back in the '70s. I started running Advanced Dungeons and Dragons First Edition back in 1979, and I still run it today. I've been playing a long time. The amount of the amount of things that players sometimes take for granted is inspiring. It's just ridiculous. Inspiring is probably the wrong word, but my contention is sometimes players take things for granted and they shouldn't. Some of my favorites, and I figured I'd give you a list here. Over the years, the amount of minutia that players in my games have taken for granted is, oh my god, staggering. Such as, ooh, how many arrows did you use? And players are like, what do you mean? You know, they buy a bow and a dozen arrows and call it good. And so, you know, their arrows seem to last forever because they don't keep track of their ammo. Yeah, that just annoys the living shit out of me. You shoot an arrow, you either hit the target or you miss. If you hit the target, it's usually gets buried in the target, and you may be able to retrieve it. If you miss, it either hits something or sticks in something. It either hits the ground, hits a tree, hit a rock, something. The chances of it breaking are pretty reasonable. So, you know, pretty high. It's rare that you shoot an arrow and you get it back. So players in my game, they have to keep track of those. I don't just let them get it's like the old the magazines in the movies where the hero shoots the magazine. He's got a 10-round magazine and he's shooting 100 rounds out of it. Yeah, I don't buy that. I don't do that. The next one that I put down here, this is a really good one. What do you mean my armor or my weapon is rusted? Well, they sell oil for a reason. You've never mentioned anything about taking care of it. You've never said I'm maintaining my armor. You've never said I'm oiling my weapon. Nothing like that. Guess what? They rust. What are you eating? What do you mean, what am I eating? I've got food. Where? What? I don't understand. They sell rations. How many did you buy? Oh, I got a week's worth. When? 3 months ago? Yeah. Nobody said they was hunting, buddy. You got to eat something. Or what do you mean I'm losing blood? Well, in my games, critical hits cause blood loss, and that shit adds up. So, you know, every round, every crit, you take a point of damage from that. Well, but it's been 8 rounds and I had 2 crits. Well, that's 16 points of blood loss right there. Not counting the regular hits. So, you know. What do you mean the Duke is offended? What did I do to offend him? Dude, you haven't taken a bath in a month. What? He smells you. Well, no, that's not fair. I never told you not to take a bath. Kind of rank there. What do you mean I can't see him? It's dark. You don't have a torch. You don't have any infravision. You know, that's a basic one because people generally understand if it's dark or whatever. That's not that big a deal, but it does happen from time to time. What happened to all my gear? I don't understand. I bought all this stuff. Yeah. And then you were camping and the monsters attacked and you fled or you chased them or whatever. Nobody mentioned anything about grabbing your gear or your backpack. It's all there. Your tent is still stuck over there, you know, whatever. But that was a month ago. Yep, it was. Not my fault. Why am I still taking damage? Well, the dragon used his breath weapon on you and you never put yourself out. What do you mean? You're still burning. But. Stop, drop, and roll, buddy. Find a stream. Something. Anything. This is one of the big ones that gets me. What do you mean my horse died? Well, dude, you tied it to a tree when you went into those ruins, and that was a month ago. Best case scenario is that the wolves got it before it starved to death, you know? Or Why do I have all these minuses in combat? Because, dude, it's 20 degrees below zero, and you're wearing chainmail without any cold weather gear. You know, do the math. Why can't I swim? Because you jumped overboard wearing plate mail. You know? How could I possibly have contracted a disease? Dude, you've hit every brothel and pleasure house and banged every whore on the entire continent. You never once mentioned anything about a cure disease spell. I got nothing for you, man. The law of averages catches up with everybody. And, of course, the list goes on and on. Some things are a given, like players probably don't need to tell you that they're going potty. Although, in one game, I did take damage for not saying I was going to the bathroom. Yeah, that was kind of crappy. No pun intended. But some things probably need to be stipulated, like I'm going to put myself out before I burn to death. Yeah, that's kind of a given. Funny story the other day. My family and I, we play Skyrim. Skyrim is a wonderful video game. If you've not played it, I recommend it. It's quite fun. It's great to pass the time. You get to build a character, the whole 9 yards, and it's really good. It's kind of a D&D based thing. My wife was playing in Skyrim, and she was on one of those. There's quests you can go on, and she was on one of those fishing quests. She had to collect all these rare fish and bring them back, and blah 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 blah. I never do those. I'm more into the cleaning out areas, getting rid of the bandits, and getting their loot, that kind of thing. Anyway, during this fishing quest, she came upon a group of bandits, and one of the first one she came across was asleep in an old wreck of a ship. And she went to smack him with her sword because it's a bandit. You can kill those. Nobody cares about that, right? She went to smack him and didn't realize she was still holding her fishing rod. So this guy's laying there asleep, and she runs up and smacks him with a fishing rod. Oh my God. Talk about a rude awakening, right? My son from the other room, he yells out, "Wake your ass up!" Oh, yeah, that was funny. And stuff like that happens to everybody. It's not just the wife. She's awesome. She's much better at these games than I am. But everybody forgets. Everybody forgets stuff. As the dungeon master, it's your job to mediate that and general reminders at first. And you got to keep track of this. This is going to hurt if you don't. This is going to be bad if you don't do this. That kind of thing. If you've got players that have been playing a long time, yeah, they don't need to be reminded until the shit hits the fan. That's all I'm saying. And again, this is not how you, I'm not saying this is how you have to do it. This is how I do it. And my players enjoy the game. You folks have a good day. God bless one and all.